The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host, who forgot to do a few things before the show. We're going to get those taken care of right now. Here we go. Okay. Anyway, a huge day, and we are up at statistical levels that I thought we would hit today. And in my morning newsletter is, pretty much statistically, they're going to try to push this to the far extent of the options, which is somewhere around 2110 to 2115. And, we got to 2113.92. So we're going to be pretty close. A little fudge factor in there. I thought 2110 to 2110 to 2115, but I think we're pretty much right in the groove out here. Anybody that was probably short is probably screaming for mommy. We've got fairly decent volume out here, but we've got all kinds of signals. And for those people that weren't around in the early 2000s, this was every triple witching. This was, the kind of action we saw today in the IBB is very much like the .com bubble, except it was every day. It's very interesting. If you haven't seen the IBB yet, we were at 374.97, and now we're at 366.89. It's become the .com. Boy, the thing trades just like it. And of course, they popped it up on one of the biotechs, and like somebody said in the den, I'm wondering why they bought the rest of them. It's not like they all share money or something, but certainly everybody bought all the other stocks, and kind of figured out that their stock wasn't worth any more because this other stock had good news, and the souffle fell. And isn't that nice? Anybody that grew up in 60s and 70s television, wasn't it always the souffle was going to fall in the oven? Personally, in 50 years, I've never met anybody that made a souffle in the oven, nor one that fell. But it seemed like every TV show was the budding new wife who had, for some reason, had this souffle in the oven, and someone slammed the door and the souffle fell. And everything was a ruin. The world was over. Forget those people in the death camps. This was big deal. This is a big deal. Bataan Death March, nothing compared to my souffle falling, at least in these horribly written sitcoms when I was growing up. I think some of them are better. Some of them are, boy, I tell you what, are just, they're so, not a lot of thinking outside the box in sitcom these days, but certainly some. And anyway, of course, when we look at the S&P as we start the show off, 2,112, and like I said, 2.4 billion shares. So volume fairly good for most of the time when they suck all the premiums out on Thursday and let the market go flat on Friday. This is more like a true kind of expiration. And I'd bought some, we had the one good trade earlier this week. I bought a lotto ticket for expiration today, and not working out, but it's not like I'm going to lose anything of value. It was a lotto ticket, and I had all the factors correct and the stock wrong. But we shall see how it works on Monday. My guess is the stock's still going up a little bit. What else do we have going on out here? Just your basic everything. We got an eclipse in all of Europe. We've got the full moon. We've got quad expiration. We've got fireworks going this way, and things going on to the left. A lot of distractions. I've been trying to keep my head down and look straight forward to the big picture, where there's going to be some really big movie money coming here in the near future.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 2000, shares of MicroStrategy Incorporated, the hot software consulting firm, falls from $246 to $86 in a single day as the chairman basically announces the company will have to slash its reported revenues and earnings for the last 2 years. Saylor defiantly declares our future is brighter than it was 18 months ago. 9 months later, Taylor settles charges of accounting fraud with the SEC by paying $8.2 million in fines. By the year end, the stock will be at $9.50, a 96% fall in just 9 months. And that's just how quick it can happen. And of course, if you looked at the charts at those times, the chart looked horrible. I don't know who would have been along that stock, but boy, it certainly looked like all the insiders knew it was a giant scam, as I remember. And it always tells you the charts normally advance and tell you that there's something really, really wrong. Yeah, very tough to mess with the IBB. It's like you don't pull on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, and you don't fool around with Buck Rogers, and you don't mess around with Jim. Jim and the IBB are the same. Anyway, if I saw this, somebody sent it to me. I don't know where it came from, but I just saw the article. But pretty good. Of course, Apple has gone into the Dow, but some pretty interesting figures on how the Dow moves. If Apple reaches $1 trillion market cap with every other stock in the Dow still stuck, and that would be at $172 on Apple, the Dow Jones will be about 18,320, and this was at yesterday's close. What is the Dow today? I never much look at it for this reason alone. It is price weighted. It's not cap weighted. So all kinds of weird stuff happen with Mr. Dow. Where is Mr. Dow out here? He's on my list. Oh, there he is. 18,182. Anyway, if we go back and look, Apple isn't anywhere close to the most influential in the Dow, but of course it's 12 or 13% of the NASDAQ. And what else can you say? Goldman Sachs, with a price of $190, far exceeds it. MMM is the second at 165, and IBM is third at 160 bucks. Boeing is fourth at $154. With Apple's market cap is $300 billion than the other four combined, by the way. So I don't know how much the Dow's really worth, but one of the reasons I rarely talk about it, but interesting figures out there today. Anyway, it is a mad market. And like I'm going to say, I think for a while in the future, get ready to embrace the euphoria, because I think that's all there is to do these days. Anyway, other things going on out here. We've got a lot of stocks that are moving. We're going to try to get to them as quickly as possible. You certainly can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. You can post a message in the den. And, of course, you can email me at path@tfnn.com. And I'll be glad to get that from you. What else do we have going on out here? Well, first of all, we've been watching Yoku, and we've been talking about this thing having very light volume. Of course, it kind of tanked today. Let me get the news on that real quick. And let's see, it's too late for Yoku. Yoku announces fourth quarter and fiscal year audited financial results. Well, looks horrible for a Chinese stock. Of course, I don't trade these. After the close of the U.S. markets, earning cold sandwiches, not a lot. leading internet television company in China, and it can't make a profit right now with the market going straight up. American, basically what we're looking at is the ADR, which is 18% of Two Doors Class A ordinary shares, also included trading in the NASDAQ Yoku. Anyway, pretty good indication this thing is broken. Let's take a little longer look at Yoku out here. Had been in a downtrend for a while, but very light volume up to this bottom. And of course, earnings come out and boom, boom, out go the lights. Other stocks of interest out here. First, Majestic Silver is getting a lot of airplay out here. Of course, gold and silver. We've got gold up fairly strong, $13 today at 11.82. Silver's up 69 cents. But a pretty nice move out here. But not a lot of volume today in AG so far, so we'll have to take a look. Still, if you wanted to draw a downtrend line, you're still underneath it, at least on AG, so you probably want to keep an eye on that. $16.81 on silver on the current contract. Of course, crude up a bit too, and of course, nothing more exciting out here than the dollar index. It's just down $1.50. My guess is that we're probably going to see that kind of volatility in the dollar index for the coming week or so. I think that we're going to have these massive swings back and forth. And of course, on the dollar index, we've got that low. I was looking for something around 95.80 for us to pull back on, and it looks like it's going to be a violent swing. And I forgot to bring that up, which I had it on my list of things to bring up, and that was every once in a while I will talk about the rule of alternation, and that is if you have a nice smooth transition all the way up, the next leg tends to be incredibly violent. If it's been violent on the way up, then it tends to be smooth on the way down. I think that's a Prechter thing he calls the rule of alternation. And it doesn't mean that the stock's not going up or down. It just means that the character as it goes will be up and down. So it will be interesting. Is this broken down somewhere? Right now, I think we probably have a little bit more money coming out of Europe as the dollar pulls back a little. But it's kind of tough. I have a feeling that we're going to have some rather wild swings both up and down in the markets. So I have a feeling you're probably going to want to be looking at your stops and figuring out that you want to have your back pretty much to the wall before you enter a trade out here, and then have stops that are going to get you out, because I think this is not just the beginning, but the beginning of some rather wild volatility in these markets. When we come back, we've got a lot of stocks to look at. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. And remember, to get those Tiger dollars, tick, tick, tick. You snooze, you lose. Time to buy Tiger dollars. Be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we're going to try to zip through as many of these stocks as we can. Airgas out here, of course, it also with some earnings news, I believe. Let me get that up real quick. Yeah, sales outlook cut. And of course, this is, if you don't know who Airgas is, they drive these big semis around that look like they fill up gas stations with, the tanker kind of trucks. But they're always full of liquid nitrogen and hydrogen and a lot of other kinds of gas for manufacturing. And basically, they're saying that they see a real pullback in that, at least in the United States, and fairly decent pop down on volume today. Looks to me like they're heading to the 102.46 low. You know, the volume, good, not great. I suspect we're going to blow through the October 29th low that had 1.2 million shares, if we've got a million already right now. That would open up the rather lighter but lower 102.49 on that one. Of course, a huge kind of Dragonfly doji out here, and underneath this, a three-gap play. So you've got some very interesting setups out here in the biotech field with this doji out here. If you had a huge reversal on Monday, which I'm not saying you're going to get, but if you do, then of course you got your shooting star out here, and that on massive volume would be a blow-off top. And you want to be watching that very closely. But it also has a 3-gap play. So if this thing does not hang out up here and continue, watch very closely in that sector. Housing sector had a nice bounce today, and all the usual suspects are out there. BZH is up. It's kind of back up into its resistance zone that comes in around 1750. The last major high in that range was 1750. You hit 1738 today and kind of pulled off of it. But it's kind of playing around with those ranges. And I guess the belief is that the higher interest rates are not coming anytime soon. I suspect that the market will force higher interest rates on the Fed, but they will resist it. So it's probably later than sooner, and it's going to be forced on them because they failed to act now. The Cooper Industries, this thing's right up here at the top. Well, I want to be watching this on Monday and see if there's any reversal on this one. It's right up at the highs, very, very light volume. COO is the symbol on that. C-Trip had a huge earnings call out here, and right back up into the gap down with higher volume, by the way. This thing got to $57.47, and of course, 17 million shares against a gap down that had 15 million shares. Pretty rare that you get those things the first time back in it. Let me see, pull up the data on that. CTRP. And biggest move since 2013. It is an ADR, by the way. It's a one of the Chinese companies. 17 C-Trips. Says first. Way, way, way high on upping the EPS in the first quarter out here. They're saying they will grow as much as 50%, or about $390 million, exceeding all 8 analysts' estimates compiled by Bloomberg. So pretty huge on that, and a huge volume too. Again, pretty big gap out here. I wouldn't be chasing it, but interesting. DI Horton, it kind of spiking with the rest of them, but not much out here in the way of volume today. It's going up against the February 24th high, $27.84. 5.5 million shares. You had 4.5 million shares yesterday and kind of pulled back a little bit, 3.2 million shares today. So my guess is we're going to see Monday and Tuesday a lot of these come out here. Some of the dogs of the housing industry, Hovanian is one of these, little bounce back into kind of the high volume. Last high volume day out here was the 11th. That day you had 4 million shares. You got about 1.8 million shares today. Again, a lot of this action and maybe non-action, maybe options related. Of course, with options rolling over Monday and Tuesday, I suspect we've got a lot more to look at. We got everything else. Well, thank you, Mr. Z. Somebody's giving me a few kudos, a little pat on the back out there. And as wild as this market, you got to have some confidence out there. Wait, KBH, this thing's going up and back into this huge day down of the 13th of January. 35 million shares, 16 today. So I don't see anything that's...
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we have an email. I've got mail from David in Oklahoma. He's asking about Sabre. And, of course, with all the action out there in the travel companies, and of course the one we just talked about, it's all about the buyouts, which of course this thing was back down at $14.86 on Sabre back on October 14th, and that's pretty much when we started seeing all the action, M&A action, start to heat up in these travel companies. And of course, with big earnings out here, it doesn't look any different. But my guess is that the movement is mostly in Sabre on a belief that it will get bought out. I don't know how much higher this thing could get bought out at, but basically you're betting on a headline out here, and it's going to be a binary outcome out here. Either no one's going to buy them, everybody's going to figure it out, or someone's going to buy them. So this thing's either going to pop up probably $3 or $4 from here, and or pop down if they can't find a suitor and the news of this wears off. But this whole run has pretty much been on the basis that someone is going to buy them out. And I don't know how much farther you can go other than that with these travel stocks in the United States, who are probably going to have harder problems going forward with the dollar rate. And I think that's probably all I need to say about that. I'll be Forrest Gump today. Lennar up here trying to go through some of the previous highs. Last high out here, not that far back, February 24th, had basically 3 million shares. You had a nice spike into it with 4.7, but didn't hold it. So kind of interesting to see it. I think maybe people are going to want to digest it. Speaking of headline risks, MAC, and I'm not talking about your macaroni and cheese with nuts and bolts in it. I forgot to bring that up yesterday. I was going to bring a bunch of nuts and bolts and say this is my macaroni and cheese, except with a lot of metal in it. If you haven't read it out here. They upped the bid, but it looks like there's going to be some more problems with Simon buying this. And it fell back down, and now they're trying to talk it back up. But it's all headline risk on this. But down on fairly large volume back into these gaps up. I don't suspect that the movement on this is going to be anytime soon. A lot of ultimatums and other things rolling around out here. Let me see what they have to say. Simon bumped its takeover price, but it's lower than they thought, and it's an ultimatum. And what else can you say? A lot of who sought John, and things probably not as bad as people thought. But the question is whether or not people do it. So as we look at Sabre, this is the same kind of thing. You get the buyout order, and then maybe it's not as high, or people think it's going to get higher. Then Simon says, no, this is it. And you get the giant pullback out here. MTH, another one of these homes out here, Meritage Homes. Let's go back just a little longer on this one. This thing's back into a long-term gap it had, where it came down on volume on March 10th of last year with 1 million shares. It's through that with about 500,000 shares so far today. Kind of like a lot of these stocks went up, touched, turned back around, but kind of tough to say. Ryland Homes, let's take a look at this because it looks like a lot of action. This is right back up to the March 4th highs of 2014. So back a year ago, we're back to the highs, $46.67 that day, 1.3 million shares. And we're up to it with the 1.7 million shares, I think, today, right? Or close. What was that yesterday? What's today then? 1.4 million shares. So you're going to get that. Going to be a little light out here, but also kind of in the middle of the trading range for the day. And of course, this is kind of a weird day with quad witching. This is traditionally what quad witching was for years. So you've got to watch a lot of snapbacks on Monday and Tuesday as some of these positions are going to be pulled off and new option positions put on. Another one in the housing sector out here is Standard Pacific. It's going up against the July 1st, 2014 high that had 4.4 million shares, have 2 million shares today. SPG, Simon Property Group, up a little bit on them, maybe paying a little bit less for the other company. And you got 1.5 million shares today going into the candle of the 6th of February that had 2.4 million shares. So going to be kind of light out here on that one too, but you're basically into a fairly decent resistance zone. I think a lot of the easy money in some of these turning around is over. Toll Brothers, another one of these. Let's go back a little bit farther out here. Back up against its, what it was about 30 cents short of going up against its March 4th, 2014 high, $39.95, 4 million shares. You got 2.5 million shares out here in the spike today. Now, the other thing you need to be looking at is this longer term possible triple top in the way that the May 22nd, 2013 highs came in at $39.25 at 10 million shares. So we get a fairly decent closeout here with light volume. You do have the opportunity for a triple top in Toll Brothers. What else do we have? Sometimes the most obvious gets past me. To Tri-Point Homes, and not a whole lot of movement in that. The XHB, of course, the index for those homes. You want to be watching this very closely. I want to put the overlay on this. Basically, you've got the makings of what Joe DiNapoli calls a double repo in the Home Builders Index. It has not confirmed it, but I'll be watching very closely Monday and Tuesday next week. What you don't want this thing to do is anytime the next few days start closing below either the 9-day moving average or this 3x3 displaced moving average. Volume a little light in the home builders, in the HXB today, 2 million shares, and you're basically the bottom of the candle that had 8.5 million shares on the 25th of February. So in the resistance zone, doesn't mean it's going to fall apart. You just don't want this thing closing back underneath it. The definition of the double repo is 10 to 15 days above a 3x3 displaced moving average or a 9-day moving average. A few days underneath it, a few days back over it, and then the next close underneath it is normally where you start to see sellers coming in. So that kind of begins the beginning of it. We're going to go into some others. Going to go through a ton of stocks today. I wanted to see how some of the stocks I've been following were looking. And let's get a little shorter view. Yeah, that's about it. Let's go back out here. One more. ACI Worldwide. ACIW is the symbol on this one. Up against its December 6, 2013 high of just a penny or two under 22 bucks, 520,000 shares. You got 1 million shares on it today. So ACI Worldwide, let me read the deal on it. Develops, market, installs, and supports software products and services for facilitating electronic payment systems worldwide. A hot sector out here, and one maybe bucking the trend, and it is breaking its fairly long-term December 6, 2013 high out here. So keep an eye on that for next week. To what else do we have out here? A little bit of reversal out here. I thought this was an interesting stock I had in my newsletter this morning. Let's get to a little shorter time frame. This thing had kind of been banging away up here at the highs, and very interesting to see. Very light volume. It's not a huge stock out here, but a little bit of a reversal signal on light volume. I don't like to trade stocks that have routinely under 300,000 shares, but this thing kind of looked to me like one that had made its high, and was interested to see how changes in crude actually affected these lighter ones. Big lots going sideways out here. Celgene, of course, all these biotechs are the belle of the ball. And this one had higher volume and is going to close above it. So CELG, you wanted to have over 5 million shares because it basically got, that's the February 23rd high at 125.45, 5 million shares. Looks like it's going to close above it today with 7.5 million shares. Probably would have liked to seen a bullish candle out here today. Not going to get it, but certainly looks very interesting and broke above long-term resistance levels, and I don't know what else you can say. Another one, which has been a huge dog for a while, is a cousin to both the pay here, buy here kind of electronic store merged with Best Buy. This thing has come down on monstrous volume back on the 9th of December when they said that they were going to, it was going to be pretty horrible. They were having problems making collections, and it was really going to hurt their earnings. This thing's kind of clawed its way back and slowly kind of eaten away at this level, just under 30 bucks. This thing's back into that gap. Not a lot of volume here the last 4 or 5 days as the market has rallied. The question is whether or not they can make a lot of money in the near future on big screens. I don't think the answer is very good. And with lows back down there in the $14 range, you did have a test, but it did not test that low of December 16th that had 2.6 million shares. So got got within, 96 cents of it on January 22nd. So you still have fairly decent volume out here on untested lows. You need to watch out for that one. And I think a long summer out here without a lot of tech moving could be disastrous for that company. If you haven't put enough people in jail, take a look at Corrections of America, CXW. This thing is busting the April 15th, 2013 high out here, $41.40, 2.8 million shares. Pretty light volume out here today, though, $457,000. 457,000 shares, excuse me. So you're way, way, way light. Let's see if there's anything more in this even farther back. No, that's it. 2.8 million shares. You're up against that high with incredibly light volume. It looks to me like you need to start breaking the law and getting into Corrections Corporation of America if you want it to go higher. Healthcare Services Group, a little doji in this sucker out here today. Now you had kind of a nice candle. Volume kind of picked up a bit. A little possible reversal signal coming out here Monday. So you want to look at that. HCSG is the symbol on that guy. And we're going to be looking at that. So what else can you say? HUN, Huntsman Corporation. This thing's been banging around these lows out here for a while. And let me read the profile on that guy. Oh, we still have 3 minutes in this segment. I'm going to get a lot of stocks in today. Manufacturers and sells differentiated organic and inorganic chemical products worldwide. Company operates 5 segments: polyurethanes, performance products, advanced materials, textile effects, and pigments and additives. Let's see when earnings is coming up on this guy. Earnings date is April 27th. So you got a little bit of time into this one. Kind of interesting, though. 7.6 million shares. Got back into it. That was the October 15th low. You got into it on December 15th, 7.7 million shares. So you knew that was going to get retested. Finally got it close to getting it retested on March 10th. I think you'd want it to get back into that mid-20 range and continue to have very light volume. Maybe 1.5 million would complete this thing kind of basing out right around in that $20 level. So keep an eye on that if you want to go long some stock out here. Jazz Pharmaceuticals, of course, all these stocks, the belle of the ball. Interesting, the February 25th, 2014 high, 176.60, 1.6 million shares. Never really gotten into that kind of volume again as you busted out these highs. And of course, it's a little higher out here. Last few days out here, 666,000, 735,000, 921,000, 960,000 shares yesterday, and a little under 500,000 shares so far. So still looking under the shadow of that February 25th, 2014 high for Jazz Pharmaceuticals. Leaf Springs Holdings had a huge gap up. My guess is this thing probably is about ready to, got a little doji out here, probably ready to come back into that $45 level and come back into that. Let's take a quick look at the profile on this guy out here. Offers consumer finance and credit insurance products and services. Provides personal loans secured by consumer household goods and other personal property and unsecured loans. Well, I wonder if we want to be looking at cons and this one in the same one, but it looked to me like it could have a fairly decent pullback into the $45, $44 level at least, maybe even 43, and fill a little bit of this gap that had come up here on monstrous volume of 5 million shares on March 3rd. So anyway, we will be back in a minute. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. Post a message in the den or email me at path@tfnn.com.
Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. As this one-of-a-kind winter comes to a close and spring approaches, it only seems fitting that now is the perfect time for a spring Tiger Dollar sale. For this week only, we're doubling the bonus that we give when you purchase any amount of Tiger Dollars. Normally, we offer a 10, 15, or 20% bonus when you purchase Tiger Dollars, but for this week only, we're doubling our special offers, and you can now get up to a 20, 30, or even up to a 40% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase. This is one of our best Tiger Dollar sales of the year and won't be around for long. Tiger Dollars can be used for any TFNN product or service and provide a great way to lock in added value on your subscriptions. Tiger Dollars never expire, so whether you're a current subscriber or plan on subscribing at one point in the future, take advantage of this spring Tiger Dollar sale this week only and get up to a 40% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase. This sale ends Sunday night, so don't miss out. All the details are on the front page of TFNN.com. Get your Tiger Dollars today and lock in your bonus before this sale passes you by.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
That's right, sports fans. And we'll be, I see Mr. Tom O'Brien warming up in the den, getting ready to fire off another great hour. In the 4 o'clock hour, we'll be joining and we'll be talking about technology and probably a little bit about these markets and the moves out here. But, well, we were promising volatility and we got it. This you could see this market lining up. Didn't know which way it was going to go, but you did know that we were going to have some rather large moves and huge displacement. There were just too many things, too many people on too many edges of boats, and now we got everybody on one side of the boat. So we'll have to see how this goes. But certainly looking for the dollar to pull back, and I think we're going to see that continue on next week. I'm looking for 95.80 on the dollar index on the continuous contract. And we'll see. But I don't think it's going to be easy. Like, what was her name? Tina Turner. Like Proud Mary. We don't like things that are easy. I'm going to have to get that as a little audio clip to play. We like things hard. I guess that's when you could talk during the song. That kind of went out of vogue. You don't get that much anymore. Anyway, we were looking at a few stocks, going to look at a couple others. Of course, the dollar coming off and crude going up. What happens to the bounce out here? And we said that we'd been looking at these things, and of course, they're not going to make it easy on you. But certainly, it looks like these bigger energy companies made at least a temporary low out here. And I don't know how temporary it is. As long as the dollar's pulling back, they'll probably go sideways or up. Maybe the easy money is over in these things. But certainly you've broken lows, and the volume was a little bit lighter. We talked about this earlier in the week, the December 16th low on Oxy at 72.32 with 8.8 million shares. As we went through that the last few days, 6.1 million shares, 5.4 million shares, 3.9 million shares, 4.2 million shares. Yesterday, 5.4 million shares. Today, again, a lighter volume, 4.1 million shares. We'll have to see how these things close. But could you get a little bounce out of these things? And yeah, probably. My guess, though, is everybody else has bought everything else. So maybe we're going to see sector rotation Monday and Tuesday, and maybe a few people out of the super high flyers and back into some of these energy stocks for a day or two. But I have a feeling that we've got all the volatility that any one trader could stand. Paycom Systems out here. Little lighter volume up here at these highs. PAYC, for those listening, February 19th. We had $35.12 with 710,000 shares. Got into it yesterday with 530,000 shares. A little bit of a reversal back out here. And, probably not a lot to hang your head on. This thing looks like in a monster range of about 24 to 35. I don't know what else you can say about that. We've been watching Sun Edison out here and seeing how it reacts up at these highs, going up against the July 14th. So the safety stock trade, and what is it? 12 million shares on the July 14th, 2014 high, 3.7 million shares, pretty up there, pretty much against the highs on fairly light volume. So again, these are a couple of ones that are going to be the canaries in the coal mine come Monday. In the meantime, I don't know what you're going to be doing. Turning on the TV, washing your hands, and the warm water hits it. Maybe just flipping the light off before you go to bed. You're going to know that it's time to go sign up for Tiger Dollars on TFNN, because they end now, or not right now, this weekend. So you've put it off long enough. You know you need to do it. You're going to do it. I don't know what it's going to be. You're going to shut that car door as you're going in tonight, and you're going to know. Go right into TFNN.com and sign up. We'll see you Monday. Same bat channel, same bat time.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. You're watching Tiger TV.